Alright, so I'm trying to stay consistent, y'all. You feel me? I keep saying that, but I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna stop saying that too. Let me just drop another video though. So I really want to go to. I see this. I see this. So we finna do these two right here. I don't really chill. I ain't want to watch these here. You know what I'm saying? But see what's going on. Then he got beef with Flakko, so that's like something to keep up with.
You're not gonna stop anything.
I keep up with it, but you know what I'm saying.
The alleged mastermind of Young Dolph's murder was just found not guilty. So we're going to explain in this video what the circumstances were that led to a not guilty verdict. We're also going to explain the possibility of CMG and Yo Gotti potentially being charged in the future. We're also going to break down why a not guilty verdict was the worst possible.
He finna break down a lot, boy. He exposing a lot, bro. That's why they want beef with him.
Is a whole lot safer than him being a free man.
It's not even exposing, bro. It is public record.
State of Tennessee versus Hernandez Govan, count 2. We, the jury, found the defendant Hernandez Govan not guilty in count 2 of the indictment. Ma'am.
Court to the session.
Ma'am.
This the killer? I thought the killer was somebody else though. While Young Dolph killer is still in danger after the. So he the killer? I ain't really been locked in on what's been going on with the Dolph. So I thought it was some young dude.
Mr. Johnson, is this your verdict? Is this your verdict?
Yes.
Is this your verdict?
Yes, ma'am.
Is this your verdict?
Yes.
Is this your verdict?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is this your verdict? Is this your verdict?
Yes.
Is this your verdict?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is this your verdict?
Yes.
Is this your verdict?
Yes.
Is this your verdict? Is this your verdict? Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I want to thank you for your service this week.
This trial was never about guilty or not guilty. We knew the answers to that going into this trial. The question was, can you prove he's guilty? Do you have enough to prove he's guilty? And when you look at exactly how this Young Dolph murder was set up, yo, they was very strategic. They were not on the phones discussing this. They weren't discussing this through text messages. This was literally, hey, bro, come to the spot. Yo, we got a bag on his head. The message went out in the streets, and they weren't tapping in or checking up with nobody, bro. Yo, if you collect the bag, you collect the bag. But we not tapping in with nobody to make sure a murder takes place. And that's exactly how this took place. So there was no paper trail, there was no communication trail to lock in Hernandez Govan. All you really had was the testimony from the actual shooters and the killers. Which, when you put somebody who committed a murder on the stand, their credibility is always going to be called into question. All right, now seeing Hernandez Govan give us those crocodile tears, to me was something to watch, right? It was something to behold, bro.
Right.
People are sociopaths, homie. After the not guilty verdict, this man looked that camera in his eyes, and he was cosplaying a father of 4 who had never committed a crime in his life. Look how cold Hernandez Govan played it after the not guilty verdict.
I just want to say thank you to my attorneys, Manny, Robert, Haley.
Bro, he looked crazy. I wouldn't even be.
Bill Handle.
I know he looked like a psycho.
Private investigators, everybody for helping me. I didn't have the resources to necessarily, cover everything, and man still helped me, and he knew I was innocent. Everybody around me knew I was innocent. I just want to say thank you to the jurors for getting this right and getting my life back.
And that's the main thing. What was it like during the trial? At what point
he lying.
Wait a minute. I think.
Good actor. Is he innocent? Well, I be trying to see on his face. He doing all this. Let's see.
I knew I had a chance from the beginning because I knew in my heart I was innocent. And so it was.
Well, I didn't see him as a killer during the video, though.
And stuff here and there, but overall, I knew my innocence would prevail.
What I realized, especially watching this trial or even watching a law and crime interview Hernandez Govan, I realized that a lot of us know a lot more about this case than even like the professionals. Like us who've been covering and watching this case have been in the weeds of this for about 4 to 5 years now. We understand this trial at a level that
4
I
years,
just feel
5
like
years.
the professionals understand it. Like for example, they gave the motivating factor. They attributed Hernandez-Gobain's motivating factor to be involved in this Young Dolph murder to, he wanted the bag, or, he was connected to CMG's or music opportunities. Yeah, that's it. But no, like Hernandez-Gobain considered J Money and D Money like his nephews. That was the #1 motivating factor, but it wasn't brought up in court. Hernandez-Gobain is over at J Money and D Money's mama house eating gumbo. They've been like neighbors for years. J Money, obviously, we know, was a rapper from Memphis. He was popping. He was with Chief Keef. He was rolling around, but he was also like Young Dolph's mentee, Young Dolph's right hand. J Money and Young Dolph was really close up until his death. Now, when J Money passed away, Young Dolph became a CEO, and Young Dolph was forced to do business with people who ain't really get along with, J Money folks, right? Or D Money, J Money's little brother, or Tula Mafia. Dolph signed Big Unc. Big Unc was supposedly responsible for the death of D Money, J Money's little brother. So when Young Dolph signed Big Unc, D Money's mama is all on Facebook, all on Twitter, cussing out Young Dolph. The streets is talking, songs is being made, calling Young Dolph flawed. And that's when Tula Mafia turned against Young Dolph. And that's when Tula Mafia had their own motivating factor to take out Young Dolph. They weren't just riding around hunting for CMG. No, they were riding around hunting for themselves as well. So when we understand this case at a micro level, that I don't even feel like investigators or
They were doggone for real.
Venezuela was the 4th largest economy in the world in the 1950s because we.
I'm sorry for your answer, but when you heard those 5 words, you are free to know. Just that reaction.
You want to know how I feel?
Absolutely.
It's hard to explain the feeling of
She you might been messing with her, bro. You might been, because look how she been. Go back. I ain't gonna go back and show y'all, bro. Let me see if I can just skip through. Look how she just been mesmerized with him, just so joyful. Look at her face. She ain't really doing too much. She all into it though. Like you see the space right here, and you see they space. You know what I'm saying? Even though he talking to her, but like he could have been a little bit more even on this side, but he more on her side. You know what I'm saying? Like, you feel me?
Like that. And it's one of the best feelings I've ever experienced.
Watch her face.
And I'm just happy to be free.
How much of a weight is this?
It's regular emotion. She.
After hearing not guilty.
It's a huge weight, I was fighting more so for my son. I have an autistic son, so that's what my fight was mainly for.
I can't believe it, man. All that ratting we did the last 4 years, and he still beat it? God damn. Now, let's go over to a courtroom.
Ain't locked in.
Following this case.
He is the murderer. Okay,
Probably I've been following this case. And he breaks down, he explains exactly what he thinks the contributing factors were that led to this not guilty verdict.
The longer that the jury deliberates, the better it is for your client. They discuss certain things, but this was a very limited amount of information, very limited jury verdict form that they had considered essentially 3 charges, all wrapped around the same thing. So it wasn't a lot of complexity there. It was really about, did they believe the state's main witness, or did they not believe it? And that's what it came down to.
Yeah, it seems like in a case like this, there's not that much physical evidence to deal with at all, right? The state was never alleging that Govan was the man who pulled the trigger.
Right.
So his argument is, why are you believing what?
The entire case is credibility of what he says, Cornelius says, as opposed to, well, we don't have to say anything as the defense, but do you believe the state's main witness? A young man who has a lot to gain or lose based upon his testimony, and not just this trial, but prior trials, who's facing the same charges, who was actually admitted to be the gunman, the one with the most powerful weapon. And so when you deal with that, and then a lack of true evidence, no concrete text messages to show, yes, we got him, or this is the plan, or we're here. Nothing, no content.
They even admitted in court that Justin Johnson and Cornelius Smith, the two killers, that they had no contact with Hernandez Gouveia for weeks before they went and killed Young Dolph, because there was no conversation needed to be had. The bag was put up. We got 100,000 on Dolph. Whoever collects the first comment.
100K though.
Right? But yo, Cornelius Smith.
Hey, that's crazy though. You already been had drop on Dolph too.
Big Jug after the murder, before they
and then Big Jug got killed too though.
After Hernandez Gouveia. So if we ain't talk for months before the day y'all murdered Young Dolph, and we ain't really talk afterwards, y'all got call logs of us going back and forth. But here's the mistake though. Justin Johnson admitted in court that Hernandez Gouveia sold him pills, right? He was a drug dealer. So the calls that they were having, the back and forth, that could just be attributed to your Cornelius Smith winning pills.
Right.
It was hard to really pin him down, especially when there's no text messages or calls weeks before the murder, for weeks, and the day of the murder, they ain't communicated. So to then bring him to court on evidence this week, to me, is just insane and it's crazy, right? But he would also touch on the possibility that other people could be indicted.
The only thing that I understand that states have produced to the jury for them to consider were, you've got multiple phone calls, and for Mr. Goldman to be the admitted dealer of the state's main witness, supplying pills and all those things, that would not be a surprise if you've got multiple contacts, they live in the same neighborhood. You can't just go off of, well, I'll call this person a ton of times to prove a conspiracy case. That's a bit of a stretch.
Yeah, so what happens now, though?
Well, I think, as the state, someone alluded to in their closing argument yesterday, and someone in the way of proof through one of the law enforcement witnesses, are there additional parties who could be complicit in the conspiracy? I don't know if that's the case. We heard Mr. Mims' name mentioned a lot, but he's now deceased. So obviously nothing can come of that. It's just, I think they need to take a step back and probably regroup and see if the investigation needs to go anywhere or if it just rests there. They do have at least two of the individuals, the most.
I'm locked in, bro. I'm locked in. Leave me alone. I'm locked in.
Complicit. The actual shooters accepting responsibility in one case and being found guilty in the other case.
Yes. Do you think this makes it more or less likely that they're going to be able to go after, higher parties?
Less like that. I mean, you would be putting the state's main witness on now for a third, fourth, or fifth trial, and every single time that he goes and gets on the stand, the hope as a defense attorney is his testimony changing, and bit by bit, piece by piece, it's just like he becomes a weathered person at that point. I mean, that's a taxing thing to be on the stand, multiple trials for multiple hours at a time, and have to remember to be consistent with everything.
Yeah, I mean, to your point, it was a pretty quick trial. To come to this conclusion within just 3 or 4 days, seems like the jury knew kind of what they were going to come to.
Well, I don't know if that's the case that they knew. I mean, obviously, from a human perspective, they decided not. Exactly. I mean, it was one of those things that they probably had to go back into the jury deliberation room and say, do we believe what he said, the state's main witness? Forget what the girlfriend said for the most part. Law enforcement's testimony wasn't really helpful whatsoever. The autopsy, it was what it was. But does this young man's testimony line up? And do we have enough? And what a lot of people fail to remember is that it's not just beyond a reasonable doubt. It is beyond a reasonable doubt for a criminal case. But in our jury instructions, as Judge Johnson Mitchell read to the jury yesterday, it requires a moral certainty. And that level of certainty that you would exercise in your most important affairs, where to put a child, a sick parent, where to move, things higher than that, quite frankly, what to do about parents.
Bro, I'm talking too much.
Deliver that,
he get to a point though, so shoot.
Those are the levels of certainty that you have to have when convicting a person, because truthfully, you're obviously taking the person's freedom away. And the jury knows the stakes, even though they don't know the potential consequences and aren't told about the punishment options. They know the consequences. You're dealing with the most serious offense of first-degree murder.
Bruh.
Eve Online.
You locked in so long, they had to give us a little break. Okay, we needed a little break. Wake up. Wake up. We here.
For a trial that was only relying on testimony, on witness testimony, the witnesses that came up really weren't really like that credible, bro. Alright, like Cornelius Smith, he's fighting a murder, like he killed Young Dolph.
Right, that's the one that, yeah, that's the one that killed Young Dolph. Okay, yeah.
The detective came,
That black dude.
did a brilliant job at making that detective look like a pathological liar.
I'm trying to see where this light skinned dude
She
is.
testified was, hey, like I see Cornelius Smith and Hernandez Govain like link up and afterwards, but I didn't really hear what they were talking about. He just told me that Hernandez Govain had money for him. It doesn't make sense. Now he touched on the possibility of them pursuing other people. I'll be real, man. If they have enough on Hernandez Govain, they don't got enough on Yo Gotti, bro. Because Yo Gotti is a couple degrees separated from this. Now, who had the $100,000 to put up on Young Dolph's head? Obviously, the head of CMG, which is Yo Gotti. Yo Gotti is the multi-millionaire in the situation. Yo Gotti's brother wasn't a multi-millionaire. He was doing pretty well for himself. He was the president of CMG, but the budget and $100,000 came from Yo Gotti. It had to have come from Yo Gotti, right? From my perspective, my opinion,
see, him saying this is what get this dude, nah. See, snitching. Snitching. You don't even put to say, why you putting your Gotti name in there, bro? Allegedly. He came Yo Gotti. Allegedly. Come on, bro.
Okay? So, the bag man is just responsible for, hey, yo, I'm going to cover the $100,000. My brother going to do all the negotiating, all the recruiting. Yo Gotti probably ain't never picked up the phone or talked to Cornelius Johnson or Hernandez Govain in his life. So, if you ain't have enough to charge or arrest Big Jook, you ain't have enough to convict Hernandez Govain, you ain't got enough to charge or damn near get a conviction for Yo Gotti. Forget about it, bro. Now, Hernandez Govain's lawyer, when he was asked after the not guilty verdict, he also brought up the fact that, yo, go after the real people. Go after the people who is capable of coming up with $100,000 to put on somebody's head. Those people is CMG and Yo Gotti.
Stop. See, bro. Come on, bro. He is snitching. Dry snitching. That's dry snitching. I promise you he's snitching. Look at his face. Snitch. He's a snitch. So if we poetic snitch.
Because he's like the easy person to pick off because you think that he don't got no resources. And honestly, I feel like that was also a contributing factor, man, is the jury kind of seen themselves in like her Dennis Govain, right? They seen, man, he's like the poorest one in the group, man. You feel me? He don't got $1 million. You feel me? Like, he don't got no $100,000 to put up. We're the people that y'all are accusing of putting up the $100,000. Y'all mentioned CMG and Big Jook and Yo Gotti multiple times during the case.
Okay.
Why y'all picking on the lawman?
In the whole case.
I think you get in bed with dogs, you get fleas. And that should have been done all the way through. If I could find all the holes in the case, after 4 years of police investigations, you darn well know they could have. And I frankly think they shaded things, did whatever they had to do politically to make this a case, and they didn't actually go after the real perpetrators. I'm good, thanks.
If I'm Hernandez Govain, not only am I not staying in Memphis, bro, I'm not even staying in the United States. So y'all will have to find in Jamaica or something, bro. Young Dolph and the PRE, they have shown they have a unique, elite ability when it comes to sliding. They get busy. They gonna get their man on them. Bro, they got Big Jook. Yo, think about all the people connected to this case that we know of, bro. Right? Yo, I can go down a laundry list of True Mafia and CMG affiliates that have died since Young Dolph passed away. COTs, he came up in court. He was trying to introduce straight drop to CMG, trying to get them signed. he was also one of the middlemen in this case. He got killed. Big Jim got killed. Yo,
that's crazy.
If Hernandez Gomez feels like he'll be able to stay safe in Memphis, he's out of his mind. Because now he ain't on house arrest no more. Because if you guys remember when he was like giving Biden,
Yeah, he need to move to Australia.
Hey, bruh, you can't leave the house. Because we fear if you leave the house, you gonna get killed. We want you back in court. That was one of the stipulations. He couldn't leave the crib.
No, they don't get it.
Bro, I'm trying to get like a work release. They denied it. They said, bro, you going to die if you go outside. So, if he stays in Memphis, man, he's in great danger. I think it's almost a done deal at this point. I don't see Hernandez Gomez living a full life. But this is just the price of it, man. It's the price of the streets, bro. You feel me? Yo, you do wrong gonna come back to you, man. But I'm praying for his safety. I'm praying for the safety of everyone. We don't condone violence on this channel. But y'all let me know in the comment section, man. What do you think, man?
Hey, you a snitch. That's what I'm gonna let you know, Flakko. You putting too much information out there, bro. Informant, boy. You was a federal informant. You know what you talking about. You trying to get more police, boy. You police, boy. We on to the next video, bro, to see why bro beefed up with Flakko. You know what I'm saying? I think I know why bro beefed up with Flakko now. Let's get into that video. You know what I'm saying? Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, bro. 500 subscribers, bro. 500. It ain't that hard, bro. 500. Y'all see my sword? It's on the little thing right there. I see. I got it laid out like this. Yeah, I gotta look at it. It's laid out. I see that mud right here and right here and right here. It's between here. Oh, hold on. Wait, the camera kind of weird. Right there. See how it's kind of laid out this way? Yeah, exactly that. Oh.